And hey there, and welcome on back. As always, I'm Carl with Target's the Attitude, absent-minded professor of knives and all things sharp. Sit on back, grab your pens and paper, class is about to begin. First, a little bit of syllabus work before we introduce the knife. For those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. Here on Fridays, we mainly do knife reviews. Occasionally, I'll do a review of some piece of camping or survival gear, lights, cooking equipment, compasses, that sort of thing. But mainly, we do knives. Then on Mondays, I do knife basics, which you really need to know. This is aimed more at those who are new to the world of knives and want to know what we mean when we start hauling out all these fancy terms. What is a drop point? What's a clip point? What do I mean by hollow ground? What's a full tang? What's Damascus? Little questions like this. It's all designed so that eventually you're not sitting there going, okay. Yeah, what he said. There is, of course, some information that those of you who have been in the world of knives for a while might find handy. And hey, you might have some information I don't know. It has happened once or twice. So, actually, more than once or twice. So, go ahead and chime on in. For those of you who have been with us for a while, welcome on back. I'm glad you managed to make it. Just got one question for you. Have you subscribed yet? Yeah, I'm really asking. Come on, have you? Come on, man. It's just so easy. You hit that button down there that says subscribe. Then you hit the bell next to it. That way you get notified every time I put up a neat new video. It's a win-win situation, as I keep telling you. You win because you don't miss any of my videos. I win because, well, the more subscribers I have, the easier it is to get all these neat new things. So let's help each other out. But in the meantime, let's get on to the knife today. We're looking at a newer one from Bestech. For those of you who have watched my other videos, I didn't start off being that impressed with Bestech. I mean, it did okay. There was nothing I could really complain about. It just didn't match up to the hype I was hearing about it. Then I started getting more in, and I started getting more and more impressed as time went on. This one is the Penguin. As you can see, the blade just floats right out there. Actually, it kind of jumps out. Very smooth. Cage ball bearing pivots. Blue and black G10 handle scales. It's also available in an orange and an OD green. Fairly nice pocket clip. Only problem is that, as far as I can tell, pocket clip is stuck where it is. You can't move it around, which is not a huge deal if you're a right-handed person who likes tip up carry. If you want anything else, though, sorry, this knife isn't going to be great for you. You can see it's got a black fill plate there, which does pretty nicely. The blade is D2 tool steel. Very intriguing shape, kind of very similar to what some others are calling your harpoon shape, but not quite. Got a little swage right here. It's got some nice jimping right there, right where it's very natural for my fingers to hit it. To have to call that a drop point, but it's got a really nice belly on it. All in all, it's very comfortable. 4.88 inches closed. The blade is 3.63 inches. I have to give it a fairly high fidget factor. Only thing I'm looking at is if you look right down in there, that lock only covers about a quarter of the blade. I prefer it to cover a full third if possible. I mean, it's not collapsing. It's holding nicely. I just would prefer a little bit more behind the blade. The coil is You can use it as finger choil, but it's really more of a sharpening choil. I definitely wouldn't recommend choking up on the blade with this one. It does have a rather nice lanyard hole, so if you live in northern climates where you have to try to get your knife out of your pocket with gloves on, you can always help yourself out that way. And as you can see, it's got a fairly high fidget factor. It's doing nicely. But let's see how it performs in a standard battery test, shall we? Start off with a standard piece of scrap paper. And as always, this is right out of the box. No sharpening, no touch-up. Very, very smooth. Definitely like that. Cardboard. Let's see here. Rides through smoothly. Cuts smoothly. Let's see how it does this way. Yep. Going to make very short work of any box you need to open up. Very nice. Hang package test. Standard Gold Peak tea bottle. I like them because they're heavier than soda bottles, which means it takes a little bit more to get them open. But that just makes it for a better test, in my opinion. Okay. There we go. Took just a little bit to get the tip through. Once tip is through, it's cutting out nicely. It's cutting quite nicely, so put this off to the side here. Let's see here. Paracord. Yeah, we'll beat up on this piece of pink paracord. Why not? On the full size loop. Very sweet. Get over there, you. No, not it. No, kitten. You can't play with the paracord right now. Okay, fine. Have fun. Problem with cats. If you've got anything that looks like a string, it's theirs. So let's go straight to the small loop here, shall we? And see how that tip does that way. Wow, that's nice. One quick cut and straight through. Beautiful. Let's see how it does with not paracord, with zip ties. I mean, I'm always cutting and replacing zip ties whenever I go to a gun and knife show. Let's see how it handles here. One, two. Okay, well, not as nice as I could have late, but it did okay. Let's see if I needed to trim up have to be, again, 2 slices, but it did it. Can't complain about that. Let's see if I wanted to chop it. Oh, that blade is not meant for chopping, all right. It's nicking it, but not cutting through. So, there's my glove. Don't need it quite yet, but I will in a second. Let's see how this thing does. Would it be decent use in my workshop? It's feathering everything up nicely. Let's see here. Yeah, that's nice. Now we'll get on to the test that I keep telling you all, don't try this at home, and I do mean it. Sooner or later, I'm going to have a knife break at the pivot point, which is one of the reasons why I wear a leather glove when I'm doing this. You don't want that to happen to you, believe me. But let's see how it does on batoning. That did nice. Very nice. And one thing I just thought about, I never checked, and the data sheet doesn't say, but yeah, it is a flat grind. Not quite a saber grind, but comes not quite a full flat grind, but it does nicely. All in all, for a knife with a suggested retail price of $65, minimum advertised price of $52 even, not a bad little knife. I wouldn't hesitate to use this as an EDC knife at all. And reasonably enough price that, yeah, if something goes wrong, you're not going to be crying your heart out because your $300 knife broke. Or if you lose it again, $52 hurts, but not that badly. But I hope you enjoyed. I hope you found something new and interesting out. As always, I'll wish you luck. I'll remind you, it may be ability that decides what you can do. It may be motivation that decides what you will do. It's attitude that decides how well you do it. So if you're going to do something, do it with attitude. See you next week. In the meantime, I hope you enjoyed these 2 videos over here. And as always, you can always hit that target right over there to subscribe. I hope you do. And I look forward to seeing you again. Bye now.